question is for the Minister of Health. Last week, when the Minister of Health was questioned by my colleague, the MPP from Nepean-Carleton, he had a disappointing and, frankly, disrespectful response. He talked about some bank in Missouri from 1893. He said he found it when...
Chief Government Whip is warned. Carry on.
The minister said he found it when he, quote, scoured the internet, high and low, far and wide. Interesting, but hardly useful. When the Minister of Health was scouring the internet, did he find any self-help guides on how to answer questions with respect and compassion?
Thank you. Minister of Health.
Well, Mr. Speaker, so again, I'm proud of our record on mental health. And I wish that the official opposition would have joined us this spring when we made unprecedented investments in mental health. In fact, much of it, the first of its kind in Canada.
Exactly.
You know, and it goes back to the creation of a Mental Health and Addictions Leadership Advisory Council that I created shortly after coming into office, Health Minister. And it was specific recommendations from that group of roughly 25 of the leading experts, chaired by Susan Pigott, a third of them individuals with lived experience, advocates, academics, practitioners.
Terrific.
And they came forward with what was, each year, they come forward with 5 recommendations. Their top recommendation last year was for cognitive behavioral therapy. We came through with that recommendation. Unfortunately, that member voted against that investment.
Thank you. Supplementary.
I'm proud to say that an Ontario PC caucus has never voted for liberal economic reality. We aren't asking about his promises.
Minister of Community Safety and Correctional Services is warned. The Minister of Economic Development and Growth is warned. The member from Durham is warned. Carry on.
My colleague was asking about priorities. We want to know if you will match the largest provincial investment in mental health in Canadian history. Instead, the minister was dismissive and rude. He's had the weekend to consider his answer. Will the minister prepare to apologize for his flippant remarks? Is he prepared to apologize for turning a question about mental health into a joke? Is he prepared to apologize to the member from Nepean-Carleton and all those with mental health illness?
Well, Mr. Speaker, so when I was asked that question, I answered that question with regards to mental health. The entirety of my response was about our commitment as a government to mental health. Then at the end of that question, Mr. Speaker, I was asked by the opposition to sign on to their People's Guarantee, which is something I would never do, because it contains $12 billion.
The member from Kitchener-Conestoga is warned. I'm getting...
So the laughter, Mr. Speaker, after that question was obvious. In fact, the member from Leeds-Grenville passed over to me a pen, laughing, suggesting that I would then sign on to the People's Guarantee. Mr. Speaker, that was the context of the question and how it was asked. It was about a platform. It was about signing on to their commitment to cut $12 billion, billions of dollars in healthcare, billions of dollars in education. We've been there before with the Conservatives. There is no way on this earth that I would ever sign on to that platform.
Thank you. Be seated, please.